Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by. And we're doing a little bit of a showcase of some toy surgery that we recently did. Now, if you followed my shorts, we did a lot of work on Dr. Fate here. We had to replace a broken wrist peg. We swapped those out from our Rebirth Superman that I've been kind of using as some custom fodder. Repainted the flesh tone hands in a nice gold. And we got a totally brand new fixed Dr. Fate. Now, I did have this head on the body buck of Dr. Fate. It was kind of like an unmasked Kent Nielsen head, and I really liked it. But as I was kind of playing around, I put the Animal Man head onto Dr. Fate to see what it looked like, and it turned into this. It's definitely not a Dr. Fate, of course. You know, this is kind of like a multiverse Dr. Fate in my collection. I don't know, something different. And I just like the way it looks. It has this kind of retro feel to it with that head sculpt, the goggles. It just looks really fun. I like the way it turned out. So we'll leave it there. But you can switch them back and forth and just simple boil and pops. Nothing major here, guys. Nothing major at all. Easy to do and have lots of fun and just freshen up your lineup, freshen up your collection. So let's take a quick look at this guy here. This is the Shazam from Fury of the Gods. Now we did put the Red Sun Superman head on there because that other head that was on this guy for so long from Jonathan Kent's Superman went on to my Connell Superboy, and it made a huge difference with that figure, and that's staying on that guy. So I had to find a head for his body buck, and I thought, you know what, let's try the Red Sun. The Red Sun turned out pretty cool. It's definitely a different look, definitely more stoic, a little bit more a more mature looking head sculpt for this character as opposed to that Jonathan Kent one. But it looks pretty good. It turned out pretty well, I think. Simple boil and pop, no neck surgery needed. You have to swap out any ball pegs, anything like that. But it's a different, unique look for this version. I'm still not 100% happy with it. I think eventually I will get another Jonathan Kent and put that head back on this guy. But for the meantime, I really like the way it's turned out, and it suits the character for sure. Almost like a first appearance Shazam, sort of. But we'll go from there. And then we took this guy here, Booster Gold. I love Booster Gold, one of my favorite characters. But I did have this extra head sculpt, this Aquaman kind of goofy smiling head sculpt, and I thought, who would look good with that head sculpt? The blonde hair, and my first thought was Booster Gold. Booster Gold is the type of superhero who would probably take off his mask and run around, have a goofy smile, and just have a good time. And I thought this worked out really well as a unmasked Booster Gold Michael Carter. But I did do a little bit of work on the head originally here. So this head, you know, it's too yellow. There's too much yellow going on. So I repainted the visor gold, and it makes it stand out quite a bit more. I'm thinking of doing a bit of a wash on the hair as well, maybe some very light, like a light brown, just to give it some highlights and separate and differentiate from the body buck, you know. But I really like the fluidity of articulation it gives to this guy's head. You just imagine him flying around, maybe Metropolis, just hanging out, stopping some crimes, taking pics, taking some selfies, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it turned out pretty cool. I do like the way it looks. And what's really fun is that the head pops off. The peg stays in the body, so I didn't have to take the peg out. Just boom, that's it. Swap, good to go. It's a different look for Booster Gold. I kind of like it. And then we got the Animal Man here. Now, Animal Man is sporting a trench coat. Now, we talked about the Animal Man not having his leather jacket. So, I actually found this in a bunch of my old action figures, my old DC collectibles, DC Direct figures. And I'm like, where the hell did I get this kind of pleather jacket from? And it is big. It is so bunchy and big, but it doesn't look too bad. If you really wanted to give this guy a jacket, I mean, you could. Now, I did swap out the head. I did give him that not Animal Man, excuse me, Aquaman, a little more stern head sculpt from the Digital Wave. It looks really good. It sits on the head well, gives him lots of range of movement, gives him that, you know, a little bit extra oomph. The jacket, I just had some fun. I decided to put it on him. It doesn't sit too bad. I mean, you got to bunch it up in the back a bit because it is a massive jacket. And I think this is from a Sting wrestling figure. I can't remember 100%, but I think it is from a Sting wrestling figure. And I just had this coat and I just kept it. And it's probably like, man, almost 20 years old, I bet. It's a little wrinkled, right? Nothing major. It held up really well. It didn't crack a lot or anything. And it's not too bad a material either. So it's kind of surprising that it's hold up. We'll see how Captain Boomerang's jacket holds up, and I'm here in 20 years, but who knows? But yeah, this held up really well. It's kind of fun just to swap out a jacket, give it a little bit something different. And of course, you can take the jacket off very easily. We'll take out that hand, that claw hand, and we can take a little bit of a closer look at the jacket because it is pretty cool. I've got a little bit worn look to it. I mean, for over 20 years old, it's held up really well. Got a little bit of liner, it's not too bad. We'll maybe have some fun with this and see what other figures might look decent with this kind of coat. Be fun down the road. But for the Animal Man, I just like it. This is such a cool figure. And just giving him like an unmasked head, I think just gives him a little bit more oomph. Kind of playing around with that. Looks really cool. Sits on the body just perfectly. And I really think that, it's a Buddy Baker. I think it suits him really well. A lot of people don't like this head sculpt, but I think it's cool. I think it's a pretty fun head sculpt and it looks good on the figure, so no complaints there. No complaints. And then we got Dr. Fate, who we did extensive work. Swapping out those ball pegs for the wrist was a very fun toy surgery. I've needed toy surgery, so I didn't have access to get another one of these figures. It did show up in Amazon actually, but I really don't want to spend an extra, $30 on a figure just to get replacement pegs like that. And I could fix it. And I thought, okay, we fixed it. And it turned out pretty good. I still got to blend in that blue a little bit more because it's a little bright. It's almost like a purplish sometimes on the camera. So I can blend that in with a little bit of black, a little bit of black wash. The hands I really like turned out good with just some gold metallic paint. And this head sculpt, man, I know it's going to be polarized. Some people are like, nah, that doesn't look like Dr. Fate. I totally get it. And it's really not. It's kind of like just my own kind of thing. I just really like this head sculpt. And I thought, you know what? It matches up pretty good. And I thought this would be a cool, different kind of multiverse Dr. Fate, not your traditional Kent Nielsen, but he still has the helmet of Fate and the goggles. I don't know, it just feels like something out of Watchmen or just a real classic JSA kind of character. You could do anything you really want. You want to make him part of your JSA, make him whoever you want. Just have fun with it. It's your figure, right? You can do whatever you want. So I had some fun with this. I am probably still gonna put the Ken Nielsen head, that unmasked Aquaman head, back onto here because I really did like it and it looks cool. And I'm gonna try it right now, see if I can do the swap without destroying anything. Okay, in the meantime, why don't you take a look at some stuff going on in the background? Take a look. Why not? So let's see if we can get this head off. Like I said, the neck peg stayed in really well, so hopefully it'll work this time. All right, perfect. So the neck peg stayed right in, which is fantastic. Now let's take our other head sculpt. Let's do the swap. Hopefully it'll stay in perfectly. All right, so both neck pegs stayed in. Awesome. And now let's put this head onto here. Let's line it up all nice, and boom, goes on real nice and easy. And there you go. So you can have your unmasked Dr. Fate, and you still got the helmet here, which is really cool. It's a really neat design. It's very asymmetrical. It's not uniform the exact same way. Kind of like good and bad, so to speak. Agent of Chaos and Order. And it's a different look. I've never seen Dr. Fate helmet like this. But it's cool. It's kind of banged up. It's got some wear on it. I think I would like to hit this with some really nice bright metallic gold. I think it would bring out the luster in it and a bit more of the definition in the sculpt. Kind of wish this ear wasn't here though. I just kind of wish there wasn't an ear. Kind of how on this side it's completely covered over. But still, it's a really nice helmet. You can have your Dr. Fate holding on to that helmet as well. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's unfortunate the original release didn't get a unmasked head. Maybe they couldn't get the likeness to Pierce Bronson. Whatever the case may be, or they didn't want to pay for the extra licensing fee or a head sculpt, whatever the case. But it would have been great to add an unmasked head onto that figure. But it's still something you can do and easily swap out and have some fun with it too, right? All right, and then finally we got this guy. Since I changed my Shazam, I wanted to bring out a new version of Black Adam. I am starting to read some of the Death of the Justice League comics where Black Adam is part of the Justice League, and I don't know how I feel about that because they made him like a pretty boy. Like he looked all handsome. He didn't have that real rough look to him. Didn't even have the pointy ears, and that pointy ears, man, that's that draws out Black Adam to me. I love the way that looks. Kind of would have looked goofy, I guess, on the Rock, but I swapped out the Page Puncher Black Adam and put him onto this body buff from the Black Adam movie. Man, this figure is really underrated. Of course, the head sculpt for Black Adam, The Rock, looks really good, but again, I don't want to have a Rock figure in my collection. I don't know, it's weird like that, but I really like the way this one sits on the head, sits on the body, and it just looks really striking and fierce. Now, the one thing you do have to do, this guy he did have a really long neck peg, so I swapped that out and put a more regular size neck peg, and it fits perfectly. The head sits really good on the shoulders, and you do have some really good movement in that head. You got a lot of attitude going on, and it looks just damn awesome, I think. It turned out really nice. So if you want to kind of freshen up your Black Adam, I think I'm going to add him to, I don't know if I want to add him to JSA, but definitely a villain for the JSA until I kind of get my John Kent sculpt situation figured out for this power. Excuse me, for this Fury of the God Shazam. I think these two look okay together. You know, definitely more stern looking heads. The other one is a bit more youthful and playful on the Shazam body, so I kind of like that yin and yang sort of thing going on, but we'll see how that works out. But yeah, guys, this was just a really fun, basic kind of thing to do. I like the way that these figures turned out. I like the way that you can just play around with your figures, add different head sculpts, do whatever you want, and create new characters or different designs, and just have some fun with the figures. I think it's always important, excuse me, to continue to have fun with your figures. I mean, you can keep your figures in the package, and that's what you want to do. Sure, go for it. But I like to have some fun with these figures, play around with them, swap out some heads, take some pics, share my stuff with you guys. There's been a lot of comments that you're kind of inspired, and I'm very humbled by that. If what I do, tinkering around, playing around, inspires you to create something, that's awesome. It means so much to me. Thank you so much for those comments. But I hope you guys had some fun. We did some quick boil and pop, nothing major, nothing serious, and we kind of freshened up our figures here and gave them some unique new looks. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you'll get notified as soon as I put up a new video, and I'll go right into your feed. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.